Good morning. Before we get started with today's projects, this cute little Christmas card and a mailbox that holds Ferrero Rocher, I just wanted to update you on a few little things. Right now we have a year-out closing sale that's has been running since December 3rd and will end on January 2nd. There's a flyer of all the things that are eligible for the sale. There's no minimum purchase required, and there's a few retiring items from the 2019 holiday catalog that are available while supplies last. Also, I have going on a paper share, and if you're interested, it is paper from the catalog that's coming out in January. The paper share will include a quarter package of each of the designer series paper, and there's 2, 4, 6, 7 different packages this year. And the ribbon, you'll get 2.5 yards of 6 different ribbons that are in that catalog. If you sign up for both, it'll be priority shipping of $8 instead of $16. And you have until December 31st to sign up here at galfridaystamping.com. And then I'll bill you on January 3rd, and then I'll prepare and mail the product by January 11th. So if you're interested, sign up. I'd love to have you participate. Now for today's projects, I used the Most Wonderful Time product medley. I used stickers, a few of the dies, and the Christmas presents. And here's the card on the inside, and then the little mailbox. So let's get started. I'll have all the dimensions for this project on my blog by this afternoon, so you don't have to pay attention too much with all the dimensions right now. Hi ladies, thanks for joining me. So this one is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5, and this is the pear pizzazz. And then I have a few layers. This is Old Olive, and this is the designer series paper for this collection. And we're just going to snail down the Old Olive to the front of the card. Make sure you have it centered. And then the same thing with the designer series paper. Just going to leave this on. And again, this one's cut a little smaller. So make sure all your edges are equal. And then I took the scalloped oval and cut out the oval. Thanks, Bonnie. In the Old Olive. And then I ran the next smallest oval in Whisper White and ran it through the Big Shot with the Subtles folder. And what I did, if I can find the folder, to make it look like linen, I put it through this way and then turned it and put it through again. And what we're going to do with this is just, I would suggest putting the snail, wherever you're going to snail it, on the, not to add the snail to the Subtles, because it'll take the design away a little bit. And we're just going to center this, make sure it's even around. And then we're going to pop this up onto the front of the card using a couple dimensionals. And again, center it into the middle of the card. Okay, now this set comes with 7 sheets of different stickers that I've already used, deer, stars, and what I actually did was took the biggest, shortest Christmas tree there was, and I forgot to grab my powder, so I'll just put it on my hand for a couple minutes. But I took the sticker and the tinsel from this collection and grabbed the end, started at the top, and then adhered it, hold it, and just wrap it around this tree like you're decorating it, like your big one in your living room. It's okay, Egg. Cat is crying. I'm not paying attention to him. And then again, just adhere it. Oops. And then we're going to snip this off. And then you have a nice little decorated Christmas tree. And then we're going to just pop this up for now onto the front of this card. Hi ladies, thanks for joining. And then we're just going to add this right to this oval. Let me just grab my Nuvo drops. Not a Stampin' Up! Product, but I wanted to add some Christmas decorations to add a little whimsy to the project. So I just used some Nuvo drops, put a few dots here and there to make it look like Christmas decorations. Blue, I think I used green on the other one. Add a few red dots. Just adds a little bit more detail. And then we have some one more color. And as you can see, I'm just adding them randomly. Now we don't want to touch it. We want to make sure it dries. But then I took these stars from the same collection, and we're just going to add one right to the top. Okay. Now for the presents. I've already stamped and cut them out because my Big Shot is broke and you can't see what it looks like when I have to cut something out. What I did was added just a little bit of glue on either side and adhered the presents. We'll take just a dimensional to stick under this one. so it lays flat. Hold it for a couple of minutes so it dries. Do the same thing to this one. Just add a dimensional so it holds it up onto this glue. And then for the last present, I'm just going to add this right to the middle. I'm trying really hard not to touch these little Nouveau drops. Oh, got that one. And then I already created the bow. We're just going to add this little bow right to this middle present, if I can get it off. And then that's the front of your card. So for the middle, what I did, this is Pear Pizzazz for my first layer. And then on the second layer, I'll show you the inside. I took the same packages and stamped them at the bottom with Mossy Meadow. And the ribbon is in Delicata. So we'll do that now. And what I actually did, my Mossy Meadow is really juicy, so I just stamped, and I actually stamped off. And added it to the bottom. That looks good. And then we'll take the gold. I just want to line them up where they're supposed to go. And I think that looks good. Not bad. And then again, I took the tinsel, and we're going to just, this tinsel's a little harder to tie, so all I did was wrap it around and tie it in a knot. Little pieces just don't want to come through. There it is. Okay. Cut off these edges. And as you can see, I got a little dot right there. And then we're just going to adhere this to the inside of the card. I'm just going to attach that a little bit. Put it on the first layer. I'm going to have to do this easy, so in case those Nouveau drops are still not dry. Knowing me, I'll make a mess. And then we're just going to put this in the center of the card. And there you go. Quick and easy Christmas card. Now to go with it, I made this cute little mailbox. We'll just take this ribbon off here. And it has a little drawer that slides out. And it has 2 Ferrero Rochers. Hi, Tina. Thank you. And I just wrapped it again in that tinsel. The dimensions for this will be on my blog. Let's see, where did I do it? Just quick go through this because I have to score this really quick. All right. Hold on one second. Okay, it's 4 1/8 by 5 5/8. I'm just going to score this really quick. On the 4 1/8 side, it's scored at 1 3/8 and 2 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 2 3/4. And then the 5 5/8 side is scored at 1 3/8 and 4 1/4. And then for the top of the mailbox, we'll do this while I'm working on it here. This is 6 by 2 7/8, and we're going to just score it at 3/4 at each side. Okay, that takes care of that. So for the little drawer, we're just going to fold it on all these score lines. And then once you have it all scored, we're going to cut it up the score line right into the next score line. And then I'm just going to take a little tiny piece off. I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Again, just taking that little bump out. Same thing on this side. And then again here. Then we'll take our tearing tape. Just going to put tearing tape on each of these tabs. Usually, oh, here it is. I actually use the cap to my glue to help cut so I get a straight line, because the top of my glue is always available. Okay, and as you can see, I cut where I shouldn't have cut. We'll just rip that off. And we're just going to take these off. And start to close up the box. And the same thing on this side. And then we can take our candy and stick it in here so we can create the top. So the same thing with this piece. Don't mind all my mess. I am not a neat crafter. Okay, so we're just going to, I took it and just on the edge of your table, just roll it a little bit. And we're going to take these pieces, which are actually 1.5 by 2 7/8, and we're going to add a bit of glue and line it up on this one little scored piece, right up to where it's scored, and you'll feel it. And just hold it there for a couple seconds so it holds. And then we're going to do the same to this side. Just run your glue so it has a nice base and it's not flimsy. And the same thing, you'll feel it once it hits that score line. You'll know it's in place. And just hold it for a couple minutes. And there you have the little top to your mailbox. And for the bottom, you don't really want to show these lines, so I cut a second piece just to give it a more finished look. I'm just going to add that to the bottom. I use glue because it gives you a couple seconds to just move it around until you get it in the spot you want it. Then I cut another designer series paper a little bit shorter, and we're going to do the same. We're going to attach it to the outside of this. I'm just going to use glue because, again, it'll just give me a couple minutes to move it around before the glue sets. Let's see. That's about the center of the piece of paper. And we're just going to add this on. Give it a little fold. Give it a little fold. And there you have your cute little mailbox. It'd be great for putting it on your table setting for your dinner guests, or if you're going out to dinner, it'd be cute to give to your host or hostess. Just a little thoughtful gift. Just going to add a piece of this tinsel before we stamp the sentiment. And this I also just tied in a knot because this tinsel is very hard to handle. But I did take my bone folder and give it a little pull just so it twirls a little bit. Okay. Then I took the one of the dies from this set, and it's right here, this little die. And I used the sentiment, if I can find it. And I told you I was a messy crafter. Ah, I put it away. Now that's a first. It says, "Hope you have a wonderful Christmas." And I did do it in red on this one, as you can see. This one will do it in green. And I didn't really I put it pretty centered. Hopefully I can get it in here right this time. And there you go, not bad. And then I added a little star. And just to give it a little bit of character, I cut out the same label with the same die And I just cut the edges off. Again, just to give it a little bit more character. And I just took it and added it on to the end with glue. And I did the same thing to this side. And again, the glue lets you move it around. And then using a dimensional, I just popped it up right here so it looks like a little flag on a mailbox, and added it on. And there you have it. Today's quick and easy projects for Christmas, in case you need to do it for a last minute trip to a friend's house. If you like these projects and you would like to get the make and takes for free, all you have to do is place a minimum order of $20 at Gal Friday Stamping, and that's before shipping and taxes. Use this host code and I'll be happy to send the make and takes to you for free. Have a great day. Thanks for joining, and I will see you soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.